Hello, my good people. How are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy and excited to be back. Thank you so much for each and everyone who have come to this place. For anyone who is new, you're so much welcome. And for my continued subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for everything. You have made this thing possible. And as I always keep on telling you that, anytime you ever see me seated, every time you ever see me just comfortable somewhere, just know it's a time for a talk. Just know it's time to come internalize on 1, 2, 3 things. And as usual, I always keep on telling you that we're here to learn. We're here to get to enlighten each other on several issues about life. Because this is a channel where we just talk about life issues, life happenings, situations, and all that. And today is a time that I hadn't really planned to come and do this video. Because one, I'm very tired, I'm very sleepy. But I was like, no, if I sleep before having this discussion, I would feel okay. And because I felt the urge, and I was like, why not? Let me just sit down, get a short recording, and maybe get to air out some 1 or 2 issues. And this is a topic that I really don't like talking about. Reason why, it's an area of life that I have felt terribly, an area of life where I've really messed. It's also an area of life where I feel God has really tested me in. And the reason why I say it is because if I ever sit down and start giving stories about my life, if there's an area that can hold a greatest percent of my life, is that one. And as you can get to see from our title and all that, today we just here to talk about love. Yes, we are in the month of love. Yes, we're in the season of love. But this one is an issue that I really didn't want to talk about. But circumstances have made me do. Situations have made me do. And this channel is about looking at life issues. And if something is happening into my life circles, it will always give me a weight of talking about it. Love. I'm one person when love is being discussed, at times I tend to keep quiet. So as I was saying, when I always hear issues, love, relationship, marriage, divorce, to some points I always get to keep quiet a bit. Sometimes I always want to hear people talk, and I get maybe to give my comments or my feelings or insights, or maybe at times I even get to reserve them, because this is a very critical topic, and it's something that at times gets so emotional, especially if you have ever gotten yourself to a point of you are in love and something never happened. You ever loved someone and maybe you got disappointed, and such kind of things. People give stories and people have very painful stories, and stories that are very diverse from one person to another. So love issues are always there. And whatever I came to talk about is love and submission. And there's something that I was asking myself, what is the role of a woman in the thing called love? And what is the role of a man in love? When someone comes and tells me he loves me, what should I pick up? From which point should I pick up that statement? And how should I react to it? I started dating someone 2, 3 years, we get married. Now we are in marriage. I'm a woman. What next? In this thing, love, where should I ever feel that I'm loved right? To which extent is love expected from me as a man? Is love expected from someone there out as a man? At which extent is love expected from me as a woman? And from the man, to which extent is love expected from him? And I've been asking myself several questions. Some I don't get answers to, and some I try to answer out of my own wisdom, experience, and all that. And the origin of marriage is from God. And when we get to read about what God says about marriage, what God says about how we should love each other and all that, and how at times a man leaves his family and husband and all that, the what God had in mind was something that was beautiful, because he was like, it's not good for man to stay alone, and he felt good to create man a companion, and that's why he gave him a woman. And the story continues. The story continues on of how a woman was gotten from a man's rib, and he's there to be a supporter. He's there to be a companion. And you know what? God had seen that man is lonely because he was living with animals, and he was like, "There's no animal which could be able to be of a good companion to the man." And the only person that was right was woman. That was God. In his glory, in his nature, that was what he saw. And we read from the Bible, we read. And when you come to the New Testament, there's this word we get to read in the book of Ephesians, which at times we get to hear of it in churches and whereabouts, about how a man should love the woman. And actually, the Bible states very well that a woman should submit to the husband, just as woman should submit to the husband, just as the church like submits to God. And on the other hand, the Bible tells us that a man should love her wife just as Christ loved the church. You see, that's the correlation that at times we get to hear from the Bible. And there's something that I always borrow from the word that I would like us as ladies to carry on. And the reason why I'm saying this is, in the recent past, I've been hearing of issues each now and then, of divorces. And the reason for divorces is because a husband just feels, now it has been several years I've been having my wife, and now from here I feel I'm not contented with one wife and I should get another wife. And now after getting the other wife, things happened. This gets to happen. The first wife is disrespected. The first wife gets to be in issues, troubles, and all that kind of things. And like what has been happening in the recent days, we have been hearing of a goat wife who has been suffering a lot just because there's someone else who got to the marriage as a second wife and all that. And this is a story that has been repeated itself. I think in every year we must get to hear of a celebrity who is undergoing this and this in her marriage, and after several months she's like, no, I think I've quitted this marriage and I have left the husband maybe with the other wife and all that. And this is something that got me bothered, because if you get to hear these stories from celebrities, just know that in other people, now us who are not in the limelight and all that, get to know that this thing is happening 99%. It's something that is in the current nature, but people are really suffering in the name love. And I don't know why the party that gets to suffer more is the ladies, is the women. Yeah, as women, we're the ones who are getting to suffer more. Because tell me why you get to marry me. Maybe I'm a 24 years old. Maybe I'm a 24 years old. You get to marry me. I'm a young girl. Maybe I've just completed my studies and all that. I've not even gotten time to pursue my career and all that. You tell me, do you know what? I'll marry you, and all other shenanigans that at times comes with this thing of, when you're young and someone wants to marry you and all that. So you have gone to that marriage, you have not gotten something that is so stable as a source of income. You just have some 2-3 pennies here and there. I've gotten married. After a year, I get my firstborn. I'm out of work into maternity. And my husband is like, do you know what? You need to stay with the baby. I don't know for how long before you get back to your work and all that. I start, the baby breastfeeding, weaning and all that. And at least my baby is maybe up to 9 months, 1 year, something of the sort. I try to get back to myself, trying to do career things and all that. After several months, I get pregnant again. I'm now pregnant of my second born. After some little time, I go back home. And to some point, you're like, now these children, maybe they are 2 or 3, and you feel like, do you know what? I think I need to stay at home. I be a stay-at-home mom because my husband is working and all that. And I start bringing up these children because there's no need. You know what? My children are suffering. My children are the care of house help. I don't know for how many hours, and I'm at work. My husband is working. I think being the good mom, be the good wife, you sit down with your husband and you're like, it's okay, you stay at home, I'll be providing everything and all that. And it's good up to that point. Me, the girl who was there, I had my degree, I had my course, I forgo my career for marriage and for family. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's very okay. Because that's the nature of a woman. And not that we complain or not that we are against that. It's very much okay. Now where my issue comes in, I've sacrificed all that because of what? Of family. There's my husband there. Since we got married, there's nothing that has ever stopped his life. There's no at one point he was at home for a leave, I don't know for how long, just because he has a son or he has a daughter. Nothing of the sort that ever happened. So this person is continuing with his life. In one or another, he's advancing. If at all it's his income level, it's continuing to add a day by day. It's good for those people who always ensure that as they grow, their wife are growing. But now there comes to these ones who are like, they grow, but they forget that woman who sacrificed her career, who sacrificed her potential and a lot of mind and opportunities, career things and job opportunities and maybe even business ideas that this person had. She forgot it. She had to forgo them because of this family. And it's not her family, it's your family as a husband and wife. Now you're here, you have started even several careers, you're now into business and all that. So in one or another, you are getting to advance. And as years goes by, you're like, I think you get to the public domain and all that. You start seeing other young girls who are into career and all that. And you start feeling that your wife is not of your caliber. Because in one or another, she's just a stay-at-home mom. She's not into any career. At times, you don't have ideas to things that I'm doing. You get ladies who maybe you are working with in your office or in your workplace and all that, who are in one or another matching your standards, who are in one or another matching maybe whatever you could have wanted in a woman. And you forget how you can empower that woman who is in your house to become as those that you're doing. And what you do is you get her not a replacement as per se, because at times they just say, this is just a second wife and all that. You get someone else who you feel is going as per your standards, as per them. Now, that is not even an issue. We keep on saying that, men are polygamous and all that. And me have no issue with that. If at all you feel it's okay, you want 3 wives, you want 2 wives, well and good. It used to happen during the times of our grandfathers. We got to hear of the advantages and disadvantages. And I always say, if it was challenging then, I'm one person who have grown in a family where my mom's dad had 2 wives. My dad's dad had 2 wives. And one thing I can say, there is nothing beautiful about polygamy. Nothing beautiful. Getting to hear the story from where my mom has come from and where my dad has come from, I can't say that there's anything to ever praise or anything to ever uphold in polygamy. No, it doesn't matter maybe what kind of richness you have and all that. Because I can say my grandfathers, as far as I'm asked, I can't say that they were poor, because they had one too, according to those era. But I don't think those families had peace. Yeah, I can stand here and say, according to the stories I get to hear, I can't say that those families had peace. So polygamy, as much as we may try to tint it at what we are getting out of our culture, I don't know what, even in our olden days and all that, nothing that is so beautiful about that. As much as men might try to tell us that how they are polygamous and all that, there's nothing that is beautiful in that. As we always keep on saying, we're just trying to tint adultery. That's what we are trying to tint it as. But either way, I hadn't come to address polygamy and all that. And I felt like I'm getting agitated because this thing of polygamy is really making many women to suffer. And now I was at this point. Now this husband here has gotten another girl who they are now matching the standards. If at all he is going to meetings with his friends, people who at times will have a higher rank, people who know to dress. You know, maybe your wife here in the house doesn't know to walk in heels, and you want a lady who can wear heels. You want a lady who can wear in a dress code that you feel is okay. And now what do? You now feel this is the woman. And maybe the lady is okay becoming a second wife. And 1, 2, 3 days, the lady admits to be a second wife. Now, all your concentration and your everything goes to that woman. Because that is the nature of men. One thing about men, we always say that they don't know to multitask. As much as they may try, it's very hard. The same way happens even when you have two wives. At times multitasking the two becomes hard. So whatever happens is, now the one that is new, that has come, you concentrate onto her. Now your entire attention, your entire focus, your entire everything is onto this lady. You forget the wife who gave you an opportunity to be you, and she was left building up your family. Other than you supporting her, you felt she's not up to it, and you took someone else, and you now forget her. This is where my pain comes in. This is where I get to feel kind of agitated in a way. This is where I feel at times nature is not favoring women. This is where I feel like it's not fair. It's not fair at all, at all, at all. Because it's okay, you've seen your happiness, you've gotten your happiness elsewhere. What about me? With your three children. Yes, you are claiming you have built me a house. Yes, you are claiming there's nothing that I ever lack. Oh, what about my peace as a woman? What about my happiness as a woman? What about me now? I had forgone all this to at least secure some years to bring up a family. Children were young. Now children are at least of age. The time now that I can start getting out of the house, maybe starting business ideas and all that. You're not there to help me. You have already gotten another taste there out. And this is what is happening. And when we get to listen of these stories of these goat wives who are getting divorced and all that, this is all that is happening. And it's painful. I see in women crying on social media. Seeing women hurting. It's becoming something that is, I don't know. It's not funny. It's not. I think like today I got to listen a certain interview, a certain radio presenter talk so emotionally because she is from a broken family, and getting to see how at times people are getting into this issue of breakup and at times polygamy and all that. And she was coming out with this narrative of, she was coming out with this point of which it really made sense to me, where the children stand when all these issues are happening. Do we ever sit down and remember the place of children in all these happenings and in all these chaos? You know, when the husband is up with the supporters, the wife is up with the supporters, you know, the family this side and all that. What about the children? And that thing got me worrying, by the way. And I got to imagine, by the way, are the children? Do you know these children get to hear of all these things? Do you know these children get to know of all these things? You know, we are at times that children are getting to realize things as young as those PP1, PP2 children. If something is trending and all that, those children will get to know. And it's saddening at times how men are becoming irresponsible, how men are becoming insensitive, because this is going a lot to men. Recently, even I don't think those children have been buried with their mother, the mother got to like hang the entire children and her and all that. And the husband was coming into the house at, I don't think, at 4 a.m. and all that. And when you get to listen to the story and all that, the things that lady has gone through, where nowadays we are really crying in this social media. You hear of things and you cry. is getting so emotional, especially where children are involved. This one is where at times things becomes even beyond. It's every time I ever see a woman who is in pain and who is suffering, especially because of divorce, because of marriage and all that, I always picture whatever that young baby, that young kid is going through. And it's sad. It's sad. And I think it's a time that women, we need to be woke. It's a time that women, we need to be in a realization that of the world we are at. Let's not empower our men and we forget ourselves. And this thing of submission and love was coming to me in a certain way that, you know, what are we submitting to? And as I was trying to ask myself questions and searching aloud, a man has been told to love the wife. And me as a wife, I've been told to submit to his love. Now what we are doing as women, we are submitting to I don't know what. Whatever love a man gives you, that is what you should submit to. When he stop loving you, also extract the submission of love. I'm submitting. By the aspect of me saying that I love someone, I'm saying I'm submitting to his love. Let's, as women, at times, extract this thing of love in men. And we get the thing of submitting to their love. I think this is where we'll get the difference of things. Because we are really loving too much as women. And it should not be happening. We are loving too much. There's this woman who we know about, who was giving stories and narrations of how the husband did. And to some point, to her realization, she was like, even things that she thought were hers as a family, they have been registered, I don't know under whose name. These are the things that are happening to women. Because you have loved, and as I was saying the previous day, as I was saying in my last video that I did, there's something that at times that ever gets to a woman when she's in love. You don't like think. I'm talking out of experience, but it's something that I've gotten myself into. There's a sense that I don't know dies or something. Because you don't like think to some points. There are some things you do when you're in love and you're like, well, was I mad? Was I okay? You start asking yourself some questions and you're like, you cannot also answer. And this is something that I want when we come out of this comfort that we get when we're in love. I was trying to imagine, I was trying to think of the things that I've achieved when I'm me, I and myself. And when maybe I had a life partner, and when maybe I had someone who we could share ideas and do things, I feel I've attained much when I'm on myself. Why? Because when a woman gets out of a toxic relationship or a toxic marriage or maybe divorce, when there was chaos and all that, you see that sense that I'm saying at times that it's like it dies when one is in love. It's like raptures, I don't know from where. And you get to think, and you get to listen, and you get to, I don't know. So this is something that I'm asking women and ladies. Kindly, let's stop loving. Let's have this aspect of submitting to a man's love. So if a man doesn't love you, you don't start in love for him. We are loving those men who loves us. We are submitting to their love. So if you give me a love, a percentage of 100, I will submit to that love. So that means I'll give you love in equal measure. If at all you love, whatever you usually give me and you tell me that love is 50%, that's what I should give you. And this is what will this benefit us? That when this man ever stops loving me, I'll get to realize and I'll also decline. Because whatever is happening is the reason why you are seeing this go towards it is suffering is you see this man has stopped loving you. His love is now somewhere else, and you're still there submitting to his love which has already been taken to someone else. He's not there. His mind, his senses, his care, his attention. Do you know how men are caring when they love you? Do you know how men are, how will I call it? Do you know how men give someone's attention when they love you? Do you know the concern? that a man who loves you usually have, the care and all that. And now you think that this man who is behaving in such kind of way, that he loves you, and you're just there submitting just because I don't know you have children together and all that. No, this is where you're messing. If a man stops loving you, also stop this submission wife thing and all that. No, cause you'll die there in love. You'll die. That's why we're getting to see women dying. You'll die. Because there's nothing bad that you love someone who doesn't love you. Especially as a woman, you love a man who doesn't love you. I don't know. That man usually sees you as a trash or I don't know what. He looks at you, he disgraces you, and he's like, that's why you hear men say, I know her. She can't go anywhere. I know her. There's nothing big she can do. I know her. With her, I don't know how many children. She can't go anywhere. She cannot provide. I know she cannot provide to those children. That's why you see a woman kill the entire children just because you know very well she cannot die and leave her children in the care of their father. Why? Because when her mom was watching, this man could not have provided to the children. What about when she's dead? So she's like, if I die, I die with my cubs. And me, I can't start and judge such a woman. Because I'm one person, I don't know why, but I always get myself having people come to me and we get to share ideas and we get to share issues about family. And I've gotten to realize that people are really messed up in this thing, marriage and all that. I'm one person in one or another. I can't say it's for long because I wasn't in marriage, but during dating and all that, I underwent a series of, I don't know what I can call them. And I got to realize at times how men can be pathetic due to lack of even another word. When a man no longer loves you, there's nothing that no longer moves him. Nothing at all at all. You'll be there thinking, I didn't think that so and so could have done it. He'll do it. Because his love is no longer there. And I just like how men at times, if they extract their mind and their thoughts from someone and progress, they do progress. This is something that we as women, we need to learn. Yeah. If you feel this phrase or this area is, and if you feel that this marriage or this man is no longer for me, is no longer working for me, we need to also learn on how we can think of something else. We have to start by loving ourselves also. Because if I love myself, there are extents that I cannot allow a man to mistreat me. Because I love myself. And if there's something I always keep on insisting, is self-love. Because I know what that thing has done to me. Loving myself. Putting yourself as number one. You will not watch someone demean you just because I don't what and what. Because you know very well of who you are and how you think of highly of yourself. And women, we have to love ourselves. By loving ourselves, it will be very easy to let go. By loving ourselves, it will be very easy to read these red flags. And we will be able to stand firm and be like, do you know what? If at all I will be your wife, if at all you'll be calling me your wife in the public, just know I will not stand this, I will not stand this, I will not stand this. Because that's where, at times, we are so loving, we are so submissive. I don't know, we are what? And who are you submitting to? Someone who is just, I don't know, of the streets. That's the person you are getting to submit to. Utaletewa magonjwa, utaletewa sijui nini. Yeah, this guy will be going collecting all kind of diseases, I don't know from where. And he'll be deporting them in your house. Just because, I'm a keeper of marriage. Just because, you know what? I'm not here trying to discourage people to stay in marriages or what. But I'm saying, if you see very well something is toxic, speak it out. If at all you have spoken it out and you have asked for people to come and help you, and you feel as much as you may try to salvage your marriage, it's not possible. As much as you may try to salvage this relationship, it's not possible. Let it go. Let it go. I don't think women, we need to die any longer because of love. I don't think we need to be depressed because of love. Because I know love can make you be depressed. If there's something I fear, is a woman in love. Hey, hmm? I fear a woman in love. You know, you advise a woman in love, and after I don't know what, that's why you always hear of this statement that, people who have slept together in under one blanket, I don't know, I don't what. It's because at times, when a woman is in love, at times, they get crazy. And this is the craziness I want us to extract ourselves from as women. Don't love a man who doesn't love you. Submit to the love that he's giving you. So if at all the kind of love he gives you is just a pathetic love, submit to that love. Don't be 100% and your man is giving you 20%. And this is a challenge to women. Know that whatever you give your woman, that is what she should reciprocate. Because that's what the Bible has told us. The Bible has told me as a woman that I should be submissive to my husband. Submissive to what? To that love that he is loving me with. If he is supposed to love me, then I'll submit to the love. If at all he doesn't love me, what am I submitting to? What? I think that is what is making me his wife. Because he loves me. But now if he starts the love, I think it will be tribulations, it will be chaos in that marriage. That's why you see in so many people, so many goat wives, they are just there for the sake of the name that they are married by so and so. But those men left where go. It's the high time we get to realize that. Love yourself. Remember that you have children. As you are getting to points that you are crying all over, you are hurt, you are depressed. I usually try to imagine in that point of depression, maybe you'll be depressed for a month or 2 or 3, because at times depression can go beyond months. You know, that is a time that you even forget that you had children. Imagine those innocent souls, how they suffer before their mom gets to regain. I always hear of stories of women, how at times they get to alcoholism, how at times they get to do crazy things. And I can also stand and say, because I'm one person who have done things because of this thing break up and all that. Getting to believe in a man so much, then all of a sudden, someone does these and things and you left there wondering. At times, I don't start to quick to, I'm never quick to judge. You hear of a woman say how she got to alcoholism, how she got, I don't know, to what and what. But it's because she was depressed. I'm one person who have gotten myself to such points. You do things, and way later you get to sit and you're like, there. How did it get to this? And where are children when all these things are happening? That is a question I always ask myself. Those children are usually suffering. Before the mother gets to regain herself, before the mother gets to correct herself, before the mother gets to know who she is, those children are always suffering. Thank God for maybe if at all you have a sister who will maybe stand in for your children and all that. Maybe you have a good mom who will stand in for the children. But there are people who don't have such people close to them. And as you try to recorrect yourself as a woman after all these things, those children get to suffer. And it's the high time we get to learn, we get to know of how we'll give our children the best. So as you love a man, don't love him at now because I'm married, I'll come and sit, I'm so comfortable. Do you know what? I'm Mrs. So and so. No. I'm speaking this knowing that even men will get to watch this. And what I'm saying is, as much as we're getting to believe on these people as we are getting married, just know that a man can change any day, anytime. And always have that thing at the back of your mind. Even any woman who is here, you're married. Don't be so comfortable. Don't be so okay. Yes. According to the stories we have had, it's a clear evidence that any man can change and any man can do anything. And you can suffer in the hearts of any man. Women, as much as we may try to hide it, I don't know where, This is something that we have to buy it. We have to take it to the bank that any man can change. Yes, any man can change. I don't know whatever comes into them. They will get to tell us, because I'm not a man, I cannot know. But don't trust a man 101%. Don't. That's why you even don't ever say that. Never stand and defend a man. Never stand and say, my man, I don't know my man, my man, my man. No, don't. When you get married, it's not a time of like putting your career, your business ideas, all of them in a no. As you're getting to have children, as you're looking after your family, let your career also be growing. Let your business also be growing. Gone are the days that we were like, let me first put this and this. I bring up the family and I'll pick it later. When you'll be picking up later, your husband will have picked another lady up. Yes. And you're there saying that now you know what we are through with. Children are grown and all that. So the advice I can tell a woman who is getting married right now, a woman who is married and maybe you kept your career and all that, pick it up. Don't forget anything that you used to do when you were a girl. Pick it up. You know, you'll hear women say that, when I was married, I didn't know that I can do this. I didn't know that I had a potential of this, and this. There's a sense that usually died. And try as much as possible to raise that sense. Let it not die at all at all. Be thinking. Be thinking, because that tries to love and marriage makes us women like a bit foolish. And I'm not ashamed to say so. Because I'm speaking out of experience. Yeah. Someone gets to love you and you no longer think. You no longer think. You no longer think. That's why I promised myself, and this is something that I ever said. If at all a man has not loved me, I will not love you. Why should I love a man who doesn't love me? And if at all you come with a certain percent of love, this is how I will love you back. I will not come here with my lovey, and that's not what you do to me. Whatever you give is whatever I return. Yes, because my work is submitting as a woman. I'm not there to love you. Love me, I'll submit. So, this is something that we need to do as ladies, as women. Because that's how you know to stand for yourself. This man will respect you. Because, hey, it's certainly the things I've had on this social media, the things I've gotten to interact with. If we continue like this, our children will die. Our children will, if you ever talk to someone who has been raised by a broken marriage and all that, there is a duration before this kid gets to heal of the trauma and all that. They are like in a world that I don't know is where. It's not good. But if at all you even get to divorce, and even after divorcing, the lady or maybe the mom of the children had coins, had an ongoing business, had a career, those children do not feel that great gap. They may feel the absence of the dad or maybe the union of a mom and dad. But being that the mom can be able to continue paying them school fees, the mom can continue to give them good life, those children do not suffer as much as those children who are usually left to a point that it's like a tug of war. The mom is like, you have not paid school fees for your children. The dad is like, no, you left my home. You thought that you could have provided, and I don't know what. It usually becomes so ugly and all that. So my urge to women: submit to a man's love. Stop loving men. Submit to their love. Stop loving men. Because this thing of loving men is getting women to a lot of issues and a lot of chaos. That's why you'll be like, women are getting loans for their husbands. Women will be there. Hey, I don't know what. I even don't want to speak. It's becoming a bit emotional. I don't want even to speak about it, because we are really losing it. And our children will get to suffer for no reason. So as much as we are wife, as much as we are wives, submit. Stop with love. Let men love. You, as you get to know on how you can improve on your family or on your aspect as a wife, get to know on how you can submit more, how you can respect the man, how you can submit to him, but not of how you can love him. No. let him get to know how he can love you. It's after you are loved right, you are able to submit. The reason why even wives are not submissive is because they are never loved right. What are you submitting for? You will hear of men here, you know what? No, wives nowadays are not submissive. What are we submitting to? What? Because at times you try to look on what you are submitting to, you can't see. Give me tangible things that can make me submit to you. Because there are men here outside who are up to their nature as men. Eh? You see the kind of gifts at times men are gifting their women, their wives. The kind of things men are doing for their wives. The kind of businesses men are establishing for their wives. How men are taking care of children. You know, there's a way a husband will take care of your children and you're like, this person loves me. There's a way your husband will be committed to how he brings up your children, and without any doubt, you'll be like, this man loves me. So, men, we don't even want to hear it. We want to see actions. We want to see actions. I'm one person, I thank God because I've grown up in a family where I've seen a supportive dad and a supportive husband in my dad. And I always salute my dad. And I remember there's a time when we were young, we always discussed with my sisters that when we grow up, we want to have a husband like dad. And I really admire that thing. That even as a dad, your children can admire you. This is a discussion that my sisters can bear me witness. We used to talk about it, not once, not twice. Because you look at this man as your dad, and you are like, God, if you ever bless me with a husband, I want this kind of a husband. Because of how he's up to everything as a man. And I didn't ever see any reason that my mom would have like disrespected him or act in a way that she isn't submissive. Because of how he was apt to his, and not even then, even now. And how I wish that men would be like that. I knew today's talk would get me emotional because I'm one person who have really suffered in the name of love. I've suffered. And if you ever see me at times like, no, me dating and all that is not my thing and all that, just understand me. Because at times you have gone through things. You know, I'm one person who was really passionate about getting married when I was young. And I wanted to build up a family when I was that young. But situations couldn't allow. Things just came. And I thank God because they came with experience. Right now, I can sit with a married woman and get to have a conversation. And by the end of that conversation, the lady will be like, thank you. You have helped me with this, and this. There's one thing that I can sit and tell this person. And I always feel everything happens with a reason. Maybe if I didn't go through such things, I could never sit someone down and try to advise her and tell her this, and this. So in one or another, things usually happens for reasons. But one thing I always say, don't get out of that situation just like that. Get to carry something. Get to carry something. And this is a topic that I can learn, and I don't know to what point, because I may start giving my life experiences and sharing my story and all that. Encourage a young lady there who is feeling like all is lost. It's not. Because this thing at times that people you see happening to women who are married and all that, it is also happening to these young girls who are trying to build up marriage and all that. You get with a man, you commit to him, he spends the entire years of your youth, maybe those 20, and maybe when you get 26, 27 and all that, you get to break up with this person. You know, that young girl there, you have really broken her, you have really wasted her years and all that. And these are things that are really happening. You have settled with a man, you take this man to your parents. I remember myself, hey, this I even feel like laughing. I remember we even had karadim for our wedding. Then you sit down, you have promised this young girl how you marrying her, you have taken him to your parents, you have gone to their home, you even have dates, the date for wedding, you have carried them. I remember us even starting discussing about our wedding committee and all that. And then all of a sudden, men are men, they will always change. But either way, it's not time for stories. So, women, as we have said, men, love your wives. For women, submit to men's love. Don't be there to love, submit to their life. Whatever they offer, return it back. If they stop offering it, also stop. Don't stay in a place that you are not loved. No, it's not fair. It wasn't your responsibility to love. Men were to love. So if they no longer love you, it's time of letting go. And women, let's stand for our children. Let's know that in those times that we are depressed, in those times that they are out, not knowing wherever we are at, our children are suffering. So before it gets to that point, kindly salvage your children. Kindly be there for your children. Because in one way or another, we always say that children, in the highest percent, they belong to women. Yes, there are men who are up to their children, but not many. And also, I'm really proud of people. I'm really proud of these men and women who are really up to their marriage. They are marriages that are really working. They are marriages that are up to point. They are marriages you'll watch and admire. And not these at social media. No, they are people you interact to on a daily basis, and you get to see that this is a perfect marriage. If I'm asked their marriages, I can point out and say, so and so, that is a marriage that I admire. So and so, this is a marriage that I admire. So one thing that I'm always confident about is marriages are working. Marriages are working. If I always say that if both of you are intentional about making it work, I'm sure it will work. And also this thing of polygamy, let me not talk about it. But until next time, bye bye. Love you guys.